So Kris, great friend of Mr. Beast, was there from the beginning, seemingly transitioned from a man to a woman.
Huh?
And the thing about Kris is he, at the time, well now she, did have a wife and kid. And Kris still does have all that. But recently, Kris has been getting outed. Now, when Kris made this transition, Sunny V2 rated this video and said why Kris will soon be a nightmare for Mr. Beast.
What do you mean by that?
Now, the nightmare that Sunny V2 was talking about was simply the fact that Kris may become a distraction for Mr. Beast in his content.
What's in the news today?
Today's breaking news is that...
So Kris is transitioning. They say, hey, this is going to be bad for your channel. Now, Mr. Beast comes out and says, yeah, you know, it's getting absurd. Kris isn't my nightmare. He's my effing friend and things are fine. All this transphobia is starting to, you know, piss me off.
A few moments later.
Breaking news!
Really him. Really him. You're a victim. There we go, CSI.
Now, with Kris transitioning, it has become common practice that when someone is transitioned and you're critical of them, the easy defense is, hey, you're being transphobia. Now, here is Nickmercs, who says, if you transitioning, you got a mental illness. But he's not going to say that because this is just kind of like a recap, because this recently happened where Nickmercs was banned off Twitch.
Nickmercs just went off on Kris from Mr. Beast, which led to Mr. Beast jumping in to defend Kris. So Nickmercs made a video on Twitter talking about the Dr. Disrespect situation. Kris quoted the video saying, me every time I post on Twitter, to which Nickmercs responded saying,
now, he said, you should be ashamed of yourself leaving behind your wife and child to play pretend. One day you'll wake up and realize what you've done, as transitioning is going to be temporary or have some everlasting impact on his life or maybe his family's life. You know, that's yet to be proven per se.
You should be ashamed of yourself, leaving behind your wife and child to play pretend. One day you'll wake up and realize what you've done. To which Kris said, you got a habit of putting your garbage input in on a situation you have no knowledge of. Also, you and your friend have other things you should probably be discussing.
Now, this is very interesting that, you know, Kris Tyson will make this comment, considering, you know, Dr. Disrespect was recently called out for talking to a minor. Now, about this time, right, Kris was getting called out too. Literally the same time around Dr. Disrespect's time, Kris was getting called out, but it was by smaller creators. And we actually gonna go to the originator of the video that went viral. His viral was then duplicated, and the duplication got the views, while he low-key got the credit.
Instead of making up false claims about me. And then Mr. Beast came into all this by saying, Ava, which is Kris if you didn't.
Ava is literally always with her kid and doesn't even go on shoots to spend more time with him. Tuckman is always smiling, not sure why this rumor is a thing. You know, people coming at Mr. Beast's friend Kris for transitioning,
to spend more time with him. Tuckman is always smiling, not sure why this rumor is a thing. And that's what Mr. Beast had to say. It seems like everyone on Twitter is taking Nickmercs' side, but I'm
now, the last part is what's important. By and large, people supported Nickmercs saying, hey, if, you know, because Kris touts herself as a strong Christian, and, you know, some people are of the belief that if you believe that, then you will not just turn your back on your family. Like this. Okay, so now this is the video that is going viral since that has taken off. Now, this person reiterates some of the things that was mentioned in another video, but we're going to watch this for a little bit, and then we're going to switch to another video because there were two videos are made. Now, this video came out July 16th, but this is a duplication of someone else's video. And sometimes, what I've learned in my short time on YouTube, sometimes it's the better produced video that gets the credit. But let's keep it going.
Before starting this video, I want everyone to understand two things. First of all is drawings. Japanese manga.
Now, Lolly, guys, this is basically kids depicted in some type of cartoon and provocative in a provocative way.
Explicit and involves cartoon characters. It's focused on characters and plots depicting underage girls. Now, I think it's clear enough for anyone to understand what it means if a real person draws or likes drawings.
Now, this is the same stuff that Vosh got caught up with when he had a lolly photo.
I will not make up anything or accuse anyone. I will only show some disgusting and unbelievable things Kris has done, along with proof. But now you're probably thinking, what in the world does Kris have to do with all of this?
Now, this is the crazy part, guys. This is where it gets dark. You got kids, protect them. And this is going to show you proof why I rarely ever show my daughter on YouTube.
To say the least, you're wrong and right at the same time. However, there's a very sketchy personality involved in this story, also known as Shadman. Shadman was a normal guy until he decided to attend an art university in Switzerland to pursue his passion for art. However, shortly after, he was expelled when some of his artwork was discovered to be illegal, even considered a danger to society.
So Shadman, guys, Shadman right here, this guy is the lolly artist of all artists out there, okay?
To society. But something more extreme was about to happen. He launched his own website, and that's when his talented artwork came to light. In 2011, he did a very disgusting and unexpected thing. He released art of his own mother. As expected, he didn't stop there. Someone will tweet on November 8th, 2016, asking Shadman to draw Keemstar's daughter, who was 7 years old at the time.
Now, this is why I say, hey, don't get them kids off my goddamn screen. I don't want people's kids coming up there because stuff like this happens.
Doing inappropriate things with Donald Trump. Shadman will respond by saying that if Trump wins the election, he will deliver it. And as we know, Trump wins, and as promised, Shadman will post drawings of her in an unusual manner. As if this wasn't enough, he'll later release a drawing of her giving head to Donald Trump. However, Shadman's vision was much worse than imagined.
Now imagine this, right? Like imagine you're friends with someone who's like, yo, I am cool with Shadman. I like his art.
On January 24th, 2017, he posted a picture of Daphne Keene, referring to her as a real-life.
Now, if you guys don't know who Daphne Keene is, she's actually about to be making a comeback in the new Deadpool Wolverine movie. She was Weapon X. And this guy, Shadman, is saying, hey, this is real-life lolly.
Shockingly, just a few days later, he began posting drawings depicting her being severely molested. What makes this even more disturbing is that she was only 12 years old at the time. Yet this wasn't the first time Shadman has done something like this. Lieutenant Corbis is also one of them. But aside from all that, a new question arises. How are Ava and Shadman linked? Well, the answer to this is another drawing by Shadman. It depicts a young girl.
Alright, so now he's about to make the connection. Alright.
Wearing a "Please be patient, I have autism" cap, pointing a gun at her mouth. She has a fidget spinner as an earring and a spade tattoo on her thigh that says BBC, which we all know what it means. On November 18th, 2017, Ava responded to a tweet from Grande and Mr. Beast stating, "This is coming from a guy who owns a Shad-based drawing and has it as a centerpiece in his living room." Just some time later, they also posted the exact same drawing laid on the floor with the caption, "Bonus fidget spinners to throw some extra autism." Initially, it seems Kris was being sarcastic because this tweet came after Shadman had drawn all those disgusting images. However, something messy was going on behind the scenes. In this Mr. Beast video, you'll notice a very familiar thing at the 9 minutes and 30-second timestamp. From what I believe, keeping illegal art.
Now imagine this. This is hanging up in Mr. Beast in his apartment. This clip right here is in their house. Right here. You see, I think that's a young Mr. Beast back there looking at it, right? Let's keep it going.
Second timestamp. From what I believe, keeping illegal art in the bedroom isn't normal at all. The shocking thing is that Mr. Beast and Kris were roommates during that time. Yet this is nothing in comparison to the next incidents. On April 16th, 2018, Ava replied under a deleted Shadman post saying, "No Beast Boy trap, Shad? You've changed."
This is wild. It is a lot of people out there. And if you go on prawn sites, you'll start seeing like, what's the girl from the BioShock? You start seeing the girls from the BioShock stuff. It gets dastardly out there.
Basically, Ava was asking Shadman to draw art of Beast Boy, as Beast Boy was shown at different ages in the show. We can't say anything for certain, but that doesn't mean the tweet wasn't strange. Though we definitely can't say the same about the next tweet. On January 17th, 2018, a person tweeted saying, "Remember this growing up? Me too. Check it out at Shadbase. featuring a photo of the 4-year-old cartoon character Caillou with his mother. Obviously, we know Shadbase is a website with very disgusting content involving children and comic book characters.
Now, the crazy thing is, if you look at Shadbase website and its content, some of it has millions of views. Right here, millions of views. So there's a market out there for this type of content.
And the tweet clearly referenced that. But instead of opposing it, Kris joined in and replied, "Help, I need an adult." I don't think there's any need to explain how crazy this stuff is. But what's even crazier is Ava's next tweet. Maybelle and Dipper are 12-year-old
Now, I've seen this Maybelle and Dipper stuff. It's some dark stuff out there, man.
siblings from a show called Gravity Falls. On July 14th, 2017, a user tweeted comics of these characters kissing. Ava replied, "They're twins, so at this point, it's just right?"
So you see what type of time Kris is on. Now, Kris coincidentally has deleted all of his tweets or her tweets.
I mean, it's almost unbelievable that Kris Tyson was tweeting this. This just reflects their personality and feelings. The strange part is that they delete most of their tweets later on. Anyway, Tyson's tweets will only become more shocking and unusual from now on. On June 21st, 2018, a user posted some scenes of a 14-year-old character named Violet from the movie Incredibles.
Now, my daughter loves Violet. She was like, "I'ma be Violet, my cousin will be Dash."
Ava replied saying, "Low-key, she's cute." The fact that Violet was 14 and Ava was a grown adult makes this even worse. The surprising part is that Ava wasn't just reacting to Shadman's work. They were friends or knew each other, to say the least. On April 16th, 2019, Ava will post a clip from their livestream where they accidentally visited Shadman's website. What's even weirder is that they gave him a shout out stating, "Shout out to Shadbase for having safe for work drawings today." I accidentally
Oh my God, safe for work drawings today, bruh.
put up his website on stream. However, if you still think this is a coincidence, the next incident will definitely change your mind. On January 25th, 2019, Shadman posted a picture of a character called Raphtalia from The Rising of the Shield Hero. There are two versions of her in the show. In one, she is 17, and in the other, she's 10. Shadman posted the 10-year-old version stating, "What is this, and why do people keep sending me this?" Ava replied underneath saying, "Please, Shad, please."
All right, man. I think you guys get the picture, but let's finish it out, man. Now, remember, this is some super sus stuff, and this person is around Mr. Beast. Not just around. This is friends with Mr. Beast.
I believe everyone understands what this means, as Shadman is basically an illegal artist who draws this stuff. Obviously, this is messed up, but things didn't get better. On January 24th, 2020, a user named Ather replied to Ava with a photo of a girl. The story behind this image is that there are two versions of the image, one with the girl clothed and the other without, and the post was liked by Ava.
This is why they be hiding the likes. Oh my goodness.
These were just the incidents that had proofs or were recorded before they deleted everything. One of the tweets, which wasn't clear or was out of context, said, "Nothing gets my knob cranking like some."
Oh my God. Now this has to be damaging. And now here's the thing, right? What people gonna say is, "Hey, this was 8 years ago." Yeah, but 8 years ago, this person was still an adult. So 8 years ago, you were into lolly. That's not gonna be something you just get over with. That's not gonna be, "Oh, well, I'm not in the lolly no more now that I got a kid." And I'm like, I don't know.
As we know, the meaning is inappropriate, but let's just let it go. Now, some people may argue that these tweets are years old. I want to clarify again that I am not hating or accusing anyone.
Now he's doing this for like legal purposes, like that's why people started saying this. Everyone's worried about a lawsuit, but that's just only part one of Kris Tyson's debauchery with Lolly. You're like, well, what else could have been done? Now, remember that video that we watched was a copy of Veritas' video, who was the first person to expose it all. But what was his name? Adrox did a condensed 7-minute version as opposed to the 31-minute version. Same information, better, you can say arguably better content. Now, it doesn't stop there. Now we're about to see what someone is going to allege as proof of Kris texting a minor, which is the latest allegations. And salute to my man Dust dropping a membership on the main channel. Salute to you, Dust. Thank you. Let's get into this. And this is only going to take 5 minutes. But the bigger question that everyone wants to know is, does Mr. Beast know? Well, you're going to find the answer to that by the end of this video.
Escape an impossible maze.
Evil. Lava, Pluto, assemble!
Hi, how are you?
I need you to make this 10 times harder.
How hard do you want it, Jimmy?
Hard.
Here we go. So this is the part that is pretty distressing
Now, this kid is 13, and I believe Kris at the time is 20.
here. So just keep in mind how he's talking to him. And I'm sure they'll have some explanation like, oh, you know, I talk to everybody this way. But come on, you can't be talking to someone who's like super young in middle school this way. Because there are some other posts that are definitely more concerning. He says, I really enjoy playing Fortnite. Would you guys want to watch me stream?
Okay. Thanks, Dad. You want to moderate it. Now, Lava GS is 13 at the time. 13 years old. And a grown man is saying, hey, thanks, Dad. You want to moderate it. Now, sure, you can say, oh, they're just joking. Like, bro. I've played with underage kids in Borderlands. I've been open about it. I say, oh yeah, man, they were some of the best shooters in the game. I played with them on Destiny. Great. Never have I ever had any conversations like this with them outside the game. All our conversations were public. Their mother could hear. The people at my place could hear, and they would actually tease me because I was literally playing a game with kids. But hey, I wanted to win.
And Lava GS says, please stream again. And he says, thanks, Dad. You want to moderate it? And he says, I love to. And keep in mind, he was born November 12, 2003. So at this point, Lava, because I'm just going to say Lava, I will not say his real name. Lava would have been 14 years old at that point. He would have been 14. And again, you know, why are you calling a 14-year-old dad? I don't know. It's weird. It's freaking weird. I gotta point it out. I know he might say it's bro talk, but there's a lot of weird bro talk in here, so let's get to that. Keep in mind, this is after he made this guy a moderator. He's like 14 years old at this point.
Now, all my moderators are well over the age. Most of, I think a couple of them got kids. But you know, I do have I cater to an older audience. I'm not some PG-13 streamer.
Or 15. Yeah, November 12, 2003. Okay, so at this point, Lava is 15, and you have Kris Tyson, who is playing with this guy online on Uno. And Lava GS says, this is pretty accurate. Me and Mangle Pickle can.
Now, here's the thing, guys. What you have to watch out with games for your kids that you allow to play online. You may like, oh, I don't want you to have social media because I'm worried about predators. Well, if the new predators are on games, kids games, I kid you not, and they use the chat room like your Roblox, stuff like that to talk to kids. So be very careful of, you know, if you have kids, what games they play and does it allow chat rooms, because this is how they get sucked up in the system. So they're playing Uno and utilizing the chat room.
Confirmed. And he says, it makes me happy, lol. So I'm not really sure why he's deciding to play a card game with someone so young, because keep in mind, at this point, this guy, he was born in 1996 in July, so he would have been 22, 23 years old at that point. And yeah, he's talking to someone really young. Again, more stuff, perfect timing. Holy shit, we accidentally predicted this. And he says there's video footage and everything. Man. Now this is the part where I get concerned. I get concerned because this guy that you talk to online, you've been socializing with, you've been playing video games with, he's asking you, Kris, does she know about your hentai addiction?
Now, why would a 13, 14-year-old know about your hentai addiction? Now, if you know what hentai is, you really into some freaky stuff. You really are. If you watch hentai, you into some freaky stuff.
And that's the thing, is this guy at this point, November 12th, 2003, he would have been 14 years old. So this guy is asking you these questions, and you were talking to him when he was super young. How does he know this? I don't know. But it definitely doesn't look good, because this is someone that you were talking to. Again, obviously, I just want to say that this is probably the worst part of all this.
Now, the worst part is coming up. I promise you, it gets worse.
And, well, I mean, other than the fact that he brought a camper van to meet up with you, that's also really bad, because you were talking to this guy since he was like 13 years old.
Camper van is cringe, bro. You know what the camper van is for? The camper van is for y'all to go camping. I'm just saying.
I think it's really bad that you were talking to this guy since he was 13 years old and he brought a camper van to meet up with you. That's pretty fucking bad. Oh my God. And one thing I want to say right here is this is the part that I have a problem with, is you made this guy a moderator. You made this guy a moderator of March 26, 2018. This is past that. At this point, you already had been talking to this guy. You're already friends with this guy. You already know this guy. And what is he? What are you saying here? So you post something that says, "Guys, we are so close to our goal. Oh my God, one more Patreon and I'm releasing my nudes."
All right, now, guys, if me or you are in a chat and we're the only ones, and if I say, "Hey, if I get XYZ go, I'm dropping nudes," this is called phishing. This is fishing for a response. This is fishing for interest, fishing for the guy to become a Patreon subscriber to see, like, because you know, like, hey, the reward is, hey, if I get a Patreon subscriber, I'm gonna drop nudes. If I can get this guy to subscribe to my Patreon after receiving this message, then I know they want to see my nudes. See how it works?
And of course, this is some poorly made joke. I've seen these kinds of jokes online before where it says, "Oh, if this post gets 1 like, I'll kill myself," and then the person likes it. It's, you know, this kind of joke. It says a goal of $3. I want to see if anyone is dumb enough to give me money. But of course, it's only you and this other guy in this Twitter thread. And this is the part I have a problem with. This isn't a group chat. This is literally just him and this other guy that he's been talking to and that he's friends with online. He says, Lava says, "I'm your first Patreon, big boy."
Now, I don't care if the kid is underage, and you know, this is what the predators will say, guys. Well, they were flirting with me. They wanted it. Now, you as the adult is supposed to have a wherewithal to know that, hey, yeah, I get that this 14-year-old is flirting with me, but this is completely inappropriate. This is when you exit stage left. This is when you block the person. This is when you stop communication. But Kris had already crossed the line with this guy, with this kid. So there's no turning back, per se, as some people wrote in the chat. Now, we do have a response from Lava.
Now, keep in mind, Kris Tyson, he was born July 1996, so he would have been 22 years old at the time, or around that age. And you have this guy who was born in November 12, 2003, he would have been 14.
All right, so now we got that. We don't need to watch the rest of the 40 minutes because you kind of get the gist. Now, everyone wants to know, did Mr. Beast know? Well, a former Mr. Beast employee speaks on the allegations made against Kris Tyson. And he says, Jimmy knew. If you don't know, Jimmy is Mr. Beast's real name. Jimmy knew. Clear as day. Do you guys think Mr. Beast knew about Kris's past? Was he there? We do know the picture was there. While we're at it, Kris should tell everyone how old the girl was he was snapping that sent him his first ever pair of Gucci slides. So there may be more coming out, kind of like with the Cody Co situation, where there's smoke, there's fire. And I don't know. Now, Mr. Beast typically stays out of drama, but Mr. Beast has been very, let's say, defensive of Kris. Now, here is Lava coming out. Hey, can you guys help me counter all these lies? Kris messages to me were sent in public Discord servers / groups, but everyone is farming it as if it was 101. Kris literally did nothing wrong. Now, it's possible that they were on a public Discord server, but it could have been an admin group. I got an admin group on my server. We don't talk about much, but it's not the entire server. Now, Lyrics comes out and says, hey, if you are mad about people apparently spreading lies about you, you probably would want to make an update to this tweet where you lied about a Cheeto in sensitive society. The videos you sourced didn't even talk about your story, but instead Kris' involvement with Shadman in the past. So because what happened is these videos came out at different times. The Shadman stuff hit first, and then people start digging. They start looking into his past.
Dig, bro. You like to dig.
And they found the Kris messaging a minor, per se. So that's Lyrics, who's great content creator. Go check him out if you have time. And then Keemstar comes into it and says, hey, Mr. Beast connected me directly to Lava, the alleged Kris Tyson groomed victim. Lava, I was not groomed by Kris Tyson. Lava, I did not meet Kris Tyson by myself. I met Kris in the Mr. Beast crew with my family present. Lava, I ran a Discord with Kris Tyson when I was 13 and edgy, inappropriate jokes were said. That's it. Now, which jokes were inappropriate? I don't know. But, Lava goes on to say, Kris did nothing wrong. What's actually disgusting is you guys twisting things and making me the victim. So there you have it, guys. You have two completely different stories, two different incidents. One with Shadman and Kris's affliction for Lolly, which is totally, in some states, illegal. And then you have the messages about the Discord server and becoming a Patreon with someone that is clearly underage. Now, do I think Kris will be in any Mr. Beast videos moving forward? I think it's over for that. I think it's done. Mr. Beast at the end of the day is a brand. The only question that people are gonna want to know is, will Kris and Mr. Beast still be friends after all the dust settles? But as far as Kris being in videos, I think it's game over. And I don't think this has to do with anything related to Kris transitioning. It's more so the lolly and the potentially inappropriate conversation with a minor. I don't care what this kid says. My personal opinion, he says, hey, we were never groomed. We never did anything. Showing up with the camper is there. If I get one more Patreon subscriber, I'm going to show my nudes. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.